Instead of just naming my favorite phone, I would name my top 5. But then I started making my top 5 list and I realized there were too many phones that I liked. So instead of my top 5 smartphones of 2014, I present to you my top 10 smartphones of 2014, ending of course with my number 1 choice. And these are obviously in order of how I like the device. This isn't a definitive list. It's actually just a personal thing for me. Usually I do reviews, I'm sort of broadcasting for a general audience, and I sort of take my own preferences out of it. These are my list of phones that have been my favorite personally to use and test through 2014. This was a super hard list to make, and I'm sure I'm going to get plenty of hate for it. A lot of phones that I tested that I liked could make the list because there are only 10 of them. So things like the Z3 and Galaxy Alpha did not make the cut. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Coming in at number 10, perhaps a surprise to some of you, the BlackBerry Passport. This sucker was released in September, and I really liked it. Before you jump down my throat, let me just quantify this. BlackBerry OS 10.3 is really, really good. My big knock on BlackBerry 10 was ridiculously poor app support. Now, however, that is not a valid argument. You've got BlackBerry's App World, you've got full Amazon App Store built in, you can direct download almost every APK from Google Play, so you get almost the best of 3 app stores. I love the keyboard. The size was a little bit weird, that square design. 4.5-inch square with the 1440 by 1440 resolution took a little bit of getting used to. I miss the physical keyboard, and I really liked what BlackBerry's done. Coming in at number 9, the Galaxy S5. This is ancient by smartphone time. It was released back in April. If you remember, it's got a 5.1-inch screen, it's 1080p. I liked the phone. I didn't absolutely love it. I think Samsung disappointed a lot of people with what the S5 ultimately ended up being. I think that's why we saw a huge design change with the Galaxy Alpha and what we saw with the Note 4. But it still sold a lot. It might not have sold as many as Samsung had hoped. Solid phone, introduced fingerprint scanners and heart rate sensors. And of course, a lot of people loved it. Coming in at number 8, the Droid Turbo. This would have gotten much higher on my list if they would have released a Lollipop already for it. Supposedly it's coming sometime soon. This came out way back in October. If you remember, this 5.2-inch QHD thing was a pretty badass phone. It had that Kevlar back, 3900 milliamp hour battery. It pretty much had every feature you could want for Verizon. I loved it. If it had Lollipop, it would have been way higher on my list. Coming in at number 7, the LG G3. This sucker came out in June. The 5.5-inch QHD screen was the first QHD screen mass released in the US market. The bezels were really thin, buttons on the back, it had laser autofocus, and still is one of my favorite phones, but obviously there were a few that I liked a little bit more. So let's talk about those. Number 6, the HTC One M8, released all the way back in March. This 5-inch screen phone, I really like the design. I think HTC does an incredible job with their devices. The metal body felt really good. The ultra pixel camera might have been a little disappointing to some, but overall I think it was a really great package. Plus I kind of like what HTC does with Sense. Coming in at number 5, another Samsung, the Note 4, released in September. This 5.7-inch QHD screen phone has pretty much everything you'd want in a modern phablet device. Samsung, I think, nailed this product. Everything they missed with the S5, they hit home with the Note 4. The design, way better. It feels premium. The screen, QHD, and is probably the best screen I've seen on any phone going right now. Love or hate TouchWiz, it's there. Lollipop update's supposedly coming very soon. Of course, all the S Pen features, I think Samsung absolutely nailed the Note 4. Coming in at number 4, the Moto X 2014 version released in September. I love this guy for a myriad of reasons. Among them, you can customize the phone to look any way you want, from leather to looking like the back of a football to different colors. Moto Maker is really pretty awesome. You get a phone that's customized just for you. I love that it's already getting Lollipop. You're getting native naked Android as Google intended, which I really like. You've got carrier support for almost every carrier out there. I love the build of the phone. I like the circular flash. Even though it doesn't improve much, I think it looks really cool. And I've thoroughly enjoyed using the phone. Coming in at number 3, the Nexus 6. Released back in November. This 5.96-inch QHD phone has every spec you could think of for a super phone, it's got in there. The size was a little bit big for my taste, and I really like big phones. I love the way the phone performed. I love the way Lollipop looked. I think Motorola, who built it, did a really nice job, although I didn't like all the greasy fingerprints that showed up on the back of the blue one. The white and kind of grayish color one was way better. Everything about this phone was absolutely awesome, and I really, really liked it. We are getting to number 1. We're in the big guns now. Coming in at number 2, The iPhone 6 Plus, released in September. This one made the list because it was a big departure for Apple. Not so much on the software side, but finally a big iPhone, which was a lot of what I was asking for. I've liked using it. I still think the software is deficient from a hardware standpoint. I really like using it. I like having iMessage. I like having the shared photo galleries. And I like sort of being inside of that Apple ecosystem. While I think there's a lot of room for improvement, Apple nailed as far as they could with iOS 8, the iPhone 6 Plus. Which brings us to number 1. If I may get a drum roll, please. Out of all the phones I tested this year, my favorite phone, the one I enjoy carrying in my pocket the most, is the OnePlus One. This guy came out around June of 2014. This 5.5-inch phone was rocking Cyanogen mod and brought a crazy new model to the market. First, it was really inexpensive, 64 gigs for about 350 bucks. I know a lot of people took umbrage with their invite system, which was done because they just didn't have the money to mass market the phone, or mass produce the phones rather. When you got an invite, that's when the phone was made. Hopefully that's going to get alleviated soon. They've opened up the phones for sale on mass markets now. There's been some confusion whether Cyanogen is going to keep being on the next version of it, but the phone as it stood when I tested was my favorite phone. It was quick, it was fast, the camera got better, they improved the screen the way it looked, they improved the touch sensitivity. I loved everything Cyanogen offered. I was able to make my phone look like Lollipop a day after Google announced what they called Android L at the time. You could skin it, you could theme it, you could do anything you wanted with it right out of the box, and I absolutely loved the way that sandstone back felt. Just everything about this device was enjoyable to use right out of the box. And I think the OnePlus folks absolutely nailed it. If you want to get what I still consider to be one of the best phones of the year, look to pick up a OnePlus One now that it's a little easier to buy at an absolutely killer price. You smack a Samsung logo on there, an LG logo on the back, the price of that phone, I would wager, almost doubles. I don't know how they did it, but there is no sacrifice in quality for price. That they hit this one square out of the park. So what do you guys think of my list? Yell at me all you want. I can take it. What did I miss? What did I not miss on here? What should have been number 1? What would your top 10 or top 5 or top 3 be? I would like to hear from you, sir or madam. Leave them in my pants region down below. Until next time, I am John Ranger from Techno Buffalo. See you guys next video. Bye-bye. Thank you guys for watching another Techno Buffalo video. I hope you enjoyed. We love consumer electronics here, and if you are as passionate about them as we are, hit the big subscribe button. We've got new videos coming at you every day. We talk about phones, tablets, laptops, and everything in between. And if you like video games, check us out at Twitch, where we play video games, although admittedly not very well, at twitch.tv/technobuffalo. All links are right down below.